Toby, congratulations.
Thank you.
Can you tell me how you got the notification and what your reaction was?
Yeah, so I was actually at work, and my wife was calling me. It was a little bit before 9 a.m., and she called me like 2 or 3 times in a row. And so I assumed she was having issues with Zoom at home. She was working at home seeing patients. And so I run out of meetings, call her back, and she was like, hey, and she said, can I FaceTime you? And I was like, yeah, of course. And she's like, I accidentally opened something that came for you on the porch this morning. And I was like, well, what is it? And then she held up the football that said, congratulations, Toby Gerhart, class of 2024 Hall of Fame class. And so I was like, oh, shoot, super excited. Screenshotted her holding it up, so I still have that on my phone today. But such an honor and privilege to be included in the class.
Yeah, can you take me back to some of the emotion that maybe you were feeling? Was the whole career kind of flashing before your eyes and wow, it's all of this? Yeah,
it really was. And, a couple days previously, I saw, I think, Alex and Larry got recognized. And I was like, oh, it's coming up again, because I remember I was on the ballot the year prior. And so in the back of your mind, there's just always a hope or a dream that you could be included. And to have that, to be included and get the football was special. And like you said, it makes you reminisce on the career and the impact you had on the program, and then all your teammates and everybody else that helped along the way to make it possible.
Yeah, I look at your game that you mastered, and you've got guys like Christian McCaffrey and even Taysom Hill that model a lot of who you were as a player. Was there any influences in your life when you were playing that you looked at guys and said, I want to be like them?
Yeah, so growing up, my dad used to show me, videos of Bo Jackson, Earl Campbell, that physical running style. And that's kind of really who I tried to emulate my game after. My dad was my high school coach, and so he pushed me about being physical, running hard, don't let the first tackler take you down. And so those are the type of guys that I idolized, that I tried to emulate on the football field, that just ran with that passion, that monster almost in them, an unstoppable force. And I think those are the two guys that I think of when I think about trying to base my style off of.
I'd like to ask you about playing for Coach Harbaugh, and how maybe some of the lessons that he taught you in the game of football have translated into the rest of your life now.
Yeah, so Harbaugh was a huge factor in my life. Obviously, him coming in my sophomore year after being 1-11 and really changing the dynamic and the thought process of the program. I think at that time, having someone come in and say they believe in you was huge. And he called out USC right from the get-go. We bow to no program. We're not scared of you, type of thing. We go down there, upset them that year as 40-point underdogs. And so Harbaugh really, I think what I took from him is, he talked about being relentless and in your pursuit of excellence. He coined the term intellectual brutality. And so those are some of the things that to this day I take of, if you want to be good at something, if you want to believe in something, believe in yourself, believe in your teammates, believe in your family, your ideals, whatever it may be. Pursue it with pure relentlessness. Be maniacal about trying to be great, and then see he had a love for the team and a confidence in the team that now I'm outside of sports, but working in the corporate world, you could say, and trying to instill that same team, family, love type of atmosphere that Harbaugh fostered in us.
It's hard to imagine the game of football without knowing the name Toby Gerhart. What has this sport meant to you personally?
Yeah, it's opened a ton of doors for me. Being able to go to Stanford was a dream come true. The education, the alumni network, to be able to represent them has been phenomenal. So I think first and foremost that. Second, as I mentioned previously, the lessons you learn from football, adversity, leadership, teamwork, all those things translate into life, to relationships, everything else. And then, now looking back on it, being honored this week really solidifies the impact that I had on the Stanford team, I have young daughters who actually didn't get a chance to see me play, but to see them be proud and start to realize that Daddy played football and some of those things is just truly special, and it's fun to be included in, and honored in a class like this. But as of late, talking about some other running backs across college football, and that reminds me of Toby Gerhart or something. And so it's awesome and humbling to be a comparison for future players, and hopefully been somebody that other kids looked up to, and that are reaching their dreams today.
And the last question I want to ask you is, obviously it's been a couple down years for the Cardinal. The program is on the rise. I'm thinking you're thinking,
yeah,
doing some really groundbreaking things as far as, with Andrew's hire. How do you see the future for the Cardinal?
Yeah, I mean, I think the future is bright. I feel like it's gone full circle. I was in the current students or current team's shoes, 15, 7, oh God, it's getting long, 17, 18 years ago now. But 1-11, football wasn't fun, but things can change quickly. And I think Coach Taylor will do a great job adapting. The dynamic of the football landscape has changed with NIL and transfer portal, but I think he's building something good there with Andrew now being named the GM. He understands Stanford, he understands talent, he understands what it takes to build a team. And so I'm excited about the future of Stanford football. I think over the next few years we're going to see them climb back up to where they were 5-6 years ago, where they're a perennial top 10 team, a team that everybody talked about, and I'm excited for the future and where it's going.
Awesome. Thanks.
All right, thank you.